What's up, movie trivia Schmoedown fans? It's me again. I'm back for another Schmoedown reaction. This time, it's for the live event that happened this weekend, but it's been uploaded to YouTube about a day after that because, I don't know, it's such a big thing, a big event that Christian decided people need to see it, so I don't know why. I tend to not to get too mixed up in all of these, but hey! It's a live event, and it's live, so and it's already on YouTube, so I can watch it. And this time, it's the big one. It's Ben Bateman versus Ethan Erwin for the number one contender match, for the number one contendership, I should say, against Dan Murrell at Collision. I think. Is it Collision? I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways, so yeah. As you can see, I am wearing the Usual Suspects hoodie again, because this time I'm actually really legit rooting for the guy on the Usual Suspects in this case, because I really want Ethan to destroy Ben Bateman. I mean, after he took out my guys, Riley and Roca, the only reasonable explanation I can see to that is that, well, he's either having the run of his life this year, and he's going to be contender for Player of the Year, or he just got really lucky in those two matches. And, well, he's going up against a Beast today, and Ethan Erwin, but then again, he already went up against the Beast in Roca, and we all remember how that went. I still have both my markers. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if this one can last one more match, but this being a number one contender match, it's probably going to be 5 rounds, so I don't predict this thing lasting all the way to the end, but, well, I'm just going to have to wait and see. Anyway, it was a long event, apparently almost 2 hours, so I'm just wasting time by talking about it. As you can see, I've also been participating, but, you know, don't expect too many correct answers out of me. So, yeah, let's just start the match. Here we go. Obviously, I've got the air conditioner on because it is really hot in here today, so that's that. Also, and yes, hold on. Yeah. Elephant in the room, I didn't watch this live. Just, you know, couldn't do it. I think I watched... I think I said this, I watched several other matches while this thing was going live, so that's why I wasn't in the live chat with all the other people.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
times.
Schmoedown Battlefield. What a match we have tonight. It is a number one contender match, and I am Christian Harloff, joined, as always, by Mark Baby Carrots Ellis. Mark, this is kind of a special day here today. What we're also going to do is we did something we normally never do, and this is something we have all these pay-per-views happening, and I spoke to our social team, and I spoke to everybody too. We said, hey, what if we do a special treat here tonight? We released the link to people out in the public, but for those people, if you did buy a link, don't worry, you're going to get emailed the next month's link for free, but we wanted to get that link out there and let people know that Erwin versus Bateman, it is out there. It is a number one contender match, and the winner of this match will face Dangerous Dan Murrell for the championship. That's right, Ben the Boss Bateman and Ethan Erwin, both of these guys, former singles champions. Both of these guys coming off of Bateman coming off 2 big wins, Erwin coming off a massive win over Paul Oyama.
Yeah.
So this is a really big match, and it is a big match, honestly, for the Suspects. They need to continue to move here, and the dungeon could pick up potentially 11 points, maybe even 12, because of the potential of Bateman versus Murrell.
Good to be with you, Christian, because you're right. This is a huge week for the Usual Suspects. As Tim Sims so notably pointed out in the chat, this could be one of the biggest weeks in their history, or at least their season, because they're trying to accumulate points and get back into that faction race. Everyone looking up at the dungeon and saying, well, how do we topple the dungeon? Well, a good start would be Ethan Big Time Erwin toppling Ben the Boss Bateman. But in order to do that, to quote our good friend Eliza Schlesinger's new Netflix movie, Good on Paper, that's exactly what Erwin and Bateman's record is, but they're even better when they're actually
7
playing
points for the dungeon,
game.
no matter
Ben
what
Bateman,
happens,
like a ninja, a master strategist, maneuvering his way around wheel rounds and getting to round 3 and hitting big questions. Ethan Big Time Erwin comes in with the relaxed attitude, but that belies a competitive fire underneath that allows him to express his breadth of movie trivia knowledge that ranks up there with anyone we've ever met on planet Earth or anywhere else they show talking pictures. It's going to be a good one tonight.
It's crazy when you look at Ben Bateman's record. He is 12-7 with six knockouts, 1 singles championship. Ethan Erwin 13-6 with 5 knockouts. So this is a clash. These two guys have never faced each other in singles before. They've never faced each other. So it's going to be, I don't know if they've ever faced each other at all, but they definitely never faced each other in singles. And it is going to be an interesting thing because if Bateman wins, he gets to play Merle for his teammate and faction mate for a 3rd time. If Erwin wins, he'll play Merle for a 4th time. Whoa. So this is both of these guys want to do, and Merle obviously has gotten the better of both of them, so they both are looking to try to take that belt off of Dan Merle. I don't know, man. This is a complete pick-em fight.
It certainly is, and the best news in the movie Trivia Schmoedown this week is obviously Kevin the Smasher Smets announcing he is in official remission from his cancer battle. He smashed cancer, and when you look at inside the Schmoedown, I know him and everyone else who's a fan of this great league are paying attention to this matchup tonight. Like you said, it's a lot more than just getting to a championship match. You see the fervor, you see the fandom, you see everybody in the live chat right now, whether it's Andy Schick, whose family we celebrate alongside you today, good sir, or it's Andy Merriweather from Jolly Old England, who probably needs to go to bed as soon as the match is over. It's going to be such a party atmosphere for the fans, but for these two competitors, Christian, once we start asking questions, they're locked in, they're focused. It's like there's nothing else going on in the world.
No, we have so much happening in the Schmoedown at the moment. Right before we get today is a battlefield. It is one big battlefield match between these two guys, but we have so much coming up for you guys to know about. And let's just get into the July 31st. It is the Schmoedown Collision. The Schmoedown Collision, it is the 4th collision. It is back. It is here, and it is bigger than ever. It is going to be 4 massive matches. It will be a hybrid event. It will be a hybrid event of 2 digital matches and 2 in-studio matches. The first in-studio matches that we have done since the pandemic hit back in 2020. Listen to these matches on the card. Okay. Starting off the entire event, Mark, is going to be for the Star Wars Championship of the world. And that is going to be the current champion, Andrew, the Hunter Dimolanta, versus Laura, Lights Out Kelly. That is a match all in its own. That is the Star Wars title match. That is going to be a massive match. That's the first match. That'll be a digital match, and then it'll flip to in studio, and it's going to be, spoiler alert here if you didn't watch today's match. I did. Spoiler alert for the #1 contender match. It will be in an IG match. Saul versus Amaru Moses. The silent assassin will be going up against
because he didn't have a nickname before that match.
And then the third match,
which went silent,
of the night will be going back to digital, and that's a #1 contender match. Kevin Goodenough Smith, 3-0, will be going up against Red Hot Marisol McKee in a #1 contender match. And then finally, in studio, for the teams championship of the world, Shazam! Reigning champions will defend against the former 2-time teams champions, looking to make it a 3rd, to be the first ever 3rd, Corruption. So there you go.
I heard in studio. That's what I heard. I heard in actual studio. And the date you said is July 31st. That's correct?
July 31st. That is
July 31st. So a week after, I'm live in Seattle. You can still get tickets. That is going to be one hell of an event. That's the collision. And again, sort of setting up some storylines tonight for that event and for events to follow later on in the year. But we love doing these pay-per-views virtually. To get back in a studio, like Christian said, there's a whole lot of excitement and optimism for the future, not just for the competitors and the factions, but just for us humans who love interacting with all you fans.
Well, that's everything coming up for the collision. So much excitement now going to be happening in the second half of the season. Can't wait to share with you guys. But we are here tonight for Bateman versus Erwin. And how did we get here? Here we go.
Erwin versus Bateman.
And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Ben, the Boss Bateman.
We're working tonight. We got Ethan Erwin. I'll take Ethan Erwin on in Hawaii on top of a mountain. I'll take him on in Russia. I'll come out to the ring with Drago and his sons. We can do this. I want to take that guy down. Well, you caught me at a bad time.
Can
Two
you
things
smell
I
what
want.
the Kaiser is cooking?
Being interrupted when I'm making soup and losing to Sam Levine, America's sweetheart.
I know what a victory like this is going to mean, not just for the faction point-wise, but for the morale. I'm hoping this will be the match that kicks us going again and puts the suspects up in the standings. You know, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Right before the season started, somebody really wanted to play alongside Ethan Erwin. But things didn't quite shake out that way, did they? So now you gotta try to beat the best. Ben, good luck to you.
Well. Here we are. Finally, I get to face Ben Bateman.
Big time Ethan Erwin. Captain of second place. You see, Ethan, you might be big time. You've done some of my favorite movies, man. But in the Schmoedown, you're nothing. You're not even close to my level.
Big slime, big grime, Ethan Erwin. You know what? I respect you. You're a good man and a great champion. That said, it's time for you to walk off into the sunset. I don't care if it's the sunset or Hawaii. Your time in the Schmoedown's coming to an end, pal. You know who's going to be the guy who seals that deal? The boss.
Now I've beaten Rogan. Now I've beaten Riley. I've beaten Bibiani. I've beaten Oyama. So for me to play Erwin is a big challenge. If I beat Erwin, that's another one of those players, a legacy player that I'm like, okay, I've now checked off that box. You see, you're just one more notch on my belt. You're one more champion I need to beat on my way back to the top of the pile.
It's been an incredibly long time coming. Whoever wins this gets to go and play Dan. I've beat him. Have you? I don't remember.
Ben!
No.
He's still a little
You
new.
beat Dan. Sorry, I forgot.
Ben enjoys reading about film.
Bateman never
Ethan
beat Merle.
enjoys making.
Erwin did.
So Ethan,
Take that.
since I know how much you love making
Make
things,
that what you will.
why don't you make a little history and show the dungeon what the suspects are all about?
When I take care of business today against Ethan Erwin, you may as well lock up those faction standings and throw away the key. It's over. It's done. Nobody stands a chance.
Good luck to you out there. If it works out, or even if it doesn't, I hope you write a great song about it, pal. See you out
Sorry
there.
for tonight.
Well, both these guys want it. They are both hungry. They are both legends of the game and have been. They both want that second championship. They both want that 2nd championship, and they both, Mark, had to really work to get here. You know, Ethan had to. He had that match against Roca last season. Then he had that match against Dan, where he fought Dan until sudden death, and then got into the tournament, and then got bumped out of the tournament by Jeff Snyder, and fought his way back, beat Paul Oyama, got himself to this number one contender match. Bateman had to beat Mark Riley, and then he beat John Roca in one of the best matches we've seen in a very long time. Both those matches on the same card were fantastic. So someone has to lose, which is crazy because these guys have both really worked in order to get here.
And like you said, they worked to get here, never facing each other in singles yet. You saw from that promo just how much shared history they have, or more accurately, almost had with each other. So there's going to be some fireworks, and why not? After all, it is Battlefield time.
It is indeed, Mark, and I'm assuming you're ready with that. So, if I may. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown. 3 rounds in the singles division. Introducing first. Representing the usual suspects. With a record of 13 wins, 6 defeats, and 5 knockouts.
That's a record.
He is the former movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Ethan Big Time Erwin.
What up?
Ethan Big Time Erwin. Ethan, you've done what you've done in the past. You come in, you are cool, calm, and collected. But as I said, you really had to earn it to get back to a #1 contender spot, and that match against Oyama and then the tournament. So this is the first time you're playing Ben Bateman in a singles match. So how do you prepare against a guy like Bateman?
Look, I've followed Bateman a long time. Obviously seen some impressive wins and also seen some, really close calls where he didn't make it. So, all one can do is study themselves and I feel very good about my chances, but you only know what you know. And, you know what?
It's all up
for
to the
me, it's
questions
usually
at
been
one
enough.
point.
Ethan, I have a comment before the question. As you know, my birthday is rapidly approaching, so thank you for getting Sherlock Holmes to appear at my party. You didn't have to, but you're going to, and that means the world to me.
Yeah, it's not going to be Downey, but it's definitely like a lookalike I found down on Skid Row, and he's gonna be great. He is English, or it's possibly Welsh. I don't know.
We'll talk offline then. About the match tonight, it does feel like a clash of styles because Bateman just seems so locked in on his strategy, on taunting the other opponent. You really don't appear to care about getting into the other person's head. So your approach tonight, when Bateman's trying to do that to you, will be what?
Chaplin.
It's what I always do is I completely tune it out, and literally the second I'm not playing, I'm just like, I'm just going back into my own head, thinking, reflecting.
Iconic British guys.
Yeah, and look, I'll say this: you can study all you want and do all you want, but a question comes up you don't know, such as hard target, which is completely obvious to me. It's what happens.
So, Ethan, real quick before we bring in your competitor, Sam had mentioned that Ben was doing some heavy recruiting and that he wanted to join you. Can you confirm or deny that rumor?
Definitely conversations were had. For sure.
All right, that's it. All right, well, good luck to you here tonight, sir, and we'll see you in just a moment.
Thanks.
The boss
And
is back.
his opponent,
Sorry about that.
representing the Dungeon, with a record of 12 wins, 7 defeats, and 6 knockouts. He is the former movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Ben the Boss Bateman!
It's too late.
Ben Bateman is back, and he is here today, coming in as the #2 ranked contender in yet another #1 contender match, Ben. And this time, as you said, one of the legacy players here, Ethan Big Time Erwin. You have not played him yet. You beat John Roca, you beat Mark Riley, and now you get Erwin. So what's the difference between prepping from Riley and Roca into now playing Erwin?
Well, Riley and Roca, they show up with a lot of preparation and study, and Erwin shows up with bad Wi-Fi. That's kind of how this goes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table. He's not somebody that I think is very famous for strategy, improving his game, doing anything like that. So he's going to know what he's going to know. But we're on a different level in the dungeon. As Kaiser likes to say, we play dungeon ball. And that's what I'm here to do. So as I said to you, Erwin, when we were texting earlier in the week, looking forward to getting a drink with you someday, buddy. But today, unfortunately, you're on the losing end.
Day.
Yeah, his internet in Dayton, Ohio, not the best. But there's been a lot of noise coming into this match, Ben. And people say, well, he missed a hard target question. But the bottom line is you survived the game that night, and you did get a W. But I do have to ask, and maybe you want the floor to speak your piece about this. Christian asked it to Ethan, and I'll ask it to you. How close were you to joining forces with Ethan Erwin this past offseason?
Well, I'll tell you something, Mark. What's funny about that question is that Ethan Erwin likes to play this aloof kind of thing, and Bateman's the villain. I'm the bad guy. But guess who strung us along? Guess who strung me and many other players along? Because I'll tell you something. I have a tremendous amount of respect for what Ethan knows and what he brings to the game. And early in those conversations, they're not lying. I was interested in playing alongside Ethan Erwin, but I found a better teammate. So that's ultimately what happened. I just found somebody who was better than Ethan. So before that was available to me, I was interested in Ethan.
All right. Well, fair enough. Ben, last question here, too. I know how much the titles mean to you. I know how much the being a multiple champion does, and I know how much getting to play your partner means to you. And I know that everyone always says, well, you focus on the game that's in front of you. You focus on the game. But is there something inside of your head knowing that you have an opportunity or one victory away from facing Dan Murrell again? Does that get inside your head at all?
No, because now at this point, Christian, that will just be a knockdown, drag-out fight. And from working with the man, he knows what I know, and I know what he knows. And we both know what we don't know, if that makes any sense. So I know what I have to do. To be on Rushmore, you got to win multiple championships. Right now, this is just one more notch in my belt.
All right. Well, good luck to you there, Ben Bateman. And now we bring back Ethan Erwin.
There he is. Look at this
man,
guy. Look at this guy. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, buddy.
And you. Can I ask you a question before we start?
Please.
Are you wearing pants under there? Or is it just the suit top? I always had to know.
Which answer do you want? Which answer do you want, Ethan?
None will truly
there's a
satisfy
multiple
me,
choice?
so that's fine. I'll find out later.
Well,
I'm wearing my brand Boss Wear. That's what I got on downstairs. All right.
Fair enough. The name of this match was going to be pants optional. So here is the here is now the rules of round number one. Mark, what are they?
I'm just glad Ethan didn't ask me that question. Round number one, the rules are as follows. 8 questions from 8 different categories of movie trivia. Schmoedown will emerge. Each question's worth 1 point. There is no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing. At least there is not in round number one. As soon as we ask the question, the field of competition has 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer. Once we ask you by name or nickname, please show what you wrote to the camera at the same time you verbalize your attempt into the microphone. I'll remind each competitor of your 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. JTE, who is definitely not wearing pants right now. I have that on good authority. If you need a repeat, that's what you use the JTE rules for. You also each have 1 challenge you may utilize at any point throughout the 3-round match. We'll bring in managers, we'll deliberate to our heart's content, and it will ultimately be your manager who confirms and ratifies if said challenge is taking place. Reminder to competitors, try to keep your hands where we can see them once you're done writing, and particularly in rounds 2 and 3. And Christian, I think it's about time to ask a question, but not before we remind everybody out there watching in the chat, please, no answers, even jokey ones, in the live chat. You want to play along at home? That's great. We like when you update us on how you're doing in the match, but please, no answers. Thank you.
Ben Bateman, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Ethan Erwin, are you ready?
Always be closing.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown. Round number one. Question number one, we're going to start with fantasy sci-fi. What famous fantasy character has been played by Dustin Hoffman, Jason Isaacs, and Garrett Hedlund?
And we do, in the category of new releases, want to give a big shout out to friend of the show, Eliza Schlesinger's movie Good on Paper. Catch it on Netflix, kids. Make it number one.
Yeah, 5, 4, 3,
It's surprising when I get
2,
a question right.
1. Pens down, hands up, please. We start with Ben Bateman.
Number one contender match.
Captain Hook.
Yes, sir. And Ethan.
Captain Hook.
All right, so now we get to question 2, Mark.
All right, it's in the category of horror /
Jason Isaacs
thrillers.
played
Christian's
it,
not a fan. I am. Your
When did that
question.
happen?
Alexander Aja directed what 2006 remake of a Wes Craven classic in which a family falls victim to mutated cannibals in the desert? Woo! Sorry,
Sounds like a fun vacation.
Aren't you going on vacation soon? Are you concerned?
No, and after I heard that question, I don't want to do it
nothing jumps
anymore.
out to
And
me, so-
5, 4,
Might as well
3,
not even write anything.
2,
I got the question
1.
right. That's
Pens
all I
down,
got.
hands up, please. We start with Ethan Erwin.
The hills have eyes.
Yes, Ben.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wrote the Hills Have Eyes.
All right, so now it is tied
That's
up.
actually
Still.
correct.
That is correct.
Oh, you totally got in my head. Oh, I forget it. Just let's stop the game.
Mind games, Ethan.
Well, that is the kind
You're
of
not
talk we're
fooling
getting between
anybody.
both of
You're
these
just
guys
annoying.
here. And here is the third question. It's action adventure. Which actor appears in the films The Long Kiss Goodnight, Triple X, and Die Hard with a Vengeance?
We can't have that sort of fun. They can't go back to us and we say, oh, we don't have the question.
No, we can't do that. But I like the way that Ethan handled that one. 5,
I like the way Ben
4,
did it.
3. There you go. 2, 1. Pens down, hands up, please. And we start with Ben Bateman.
I wrote
Jeremy
down
Irons?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, and Ethan.
I also wrote down Samuel L.
He was-
Jackson.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, we've got a score of 3-3. Bateman
was
and
thinking
Erwin
about
tied
Jay-
as we get to question 4.
Samuel L. Jackson. but I
That's
thought
right.
it
The
was, like,
category
too
is
easy.
biopics, as I used to call them, and now I call them biopics because of incessant bullying. Your question for a point. Which actor appears in the biographical dramas Ali, Ray, and Just Mercy?
See both these guys, a wealth of knowledge, both former champions, and both trying to get back to the top of the hill.
And huge whiteboard.
Well, the easy
5,
answer was the
Thank
answer
you.
in the last one.
3.
So
Impressive.
2, 1. Pens down, hands up, please, and we start with Ethan this time.
Will Smith.
Jamie Foxx.
Yes, Ben.
Okay.
I've read about all 3 films. They all sound very interesting to me. Jamie Foxx.
Taking a shot
Someday
at
you
Sam,
might watch them. You may see them someday.
taking a
I don't
shot at
watch
Sam
movies.
Levine.
I've never watched a movie in my life.
All right, here we go. Here's the next one. This is Family Films. What is the title of the 2014 film in the Muppets franchise in which a criminal frog named Constantine pretends to be Kermit?
You got a favorite out of them?
With the
Out of
Muppets?
them? Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you right now. I'll tell you later after we ask me for the next question.
My answer is Muppet Babies.
5, 4,
It's the best.
3, 2.
They didn't have a movie though.
Pens down, hands up, please, and we start with Ben Bateman.
Muppets
I wrote
Most
down
Wanted.
Muppets Most Wanted.
Yes.
Oh
and
wow,
Ethan.
Bateman actually
I wrote
got the
something very
title of a
similar to that, Muppets Most
Muppets
Wanted.
movie right this
All right, so
time.
it is all tied up still. 5-5 between both
I'm
competitors.
still mad
both
about that.
getting
Muppets
all
from
5 questions
space.
right. Now we get to question 6.
That's
Idiocracy.
right, Bateman with a slight edge in handwriting, but it is tied at the top. Your next question's in the world of crime movies.
Oh, really?
And
The
the
sixth
query
question
for
is
a
usually
point.
comedies.
Which actor received a Best Supporting Actor Oscar nomination for his performance as Donnie Azoff in The Wolf of Wall Street?
Now this is the time where I wish I was competing because I just watched this movie again.
Honey, how many times are you going to watch that movie?
A lot. It's a great movie.
Oh,
It's a
wait.
good movie.
It's
Might be my
wait,
favorite
it's
Scorsese
not-
movie. 5.
Ooh.
I know. 3.
Wow.
I know. 2. 1. Sorry, Sam. Sam's used to be something else. Pens down, hands up, please. And now this time we are going to start with Ethan.
Jonah Hill.
Yes. And Ben.
I came up with that second
Jonah Hill.
time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I knew it wasn't
At the
DiCaprio
moment,
because
6-6 with 2 questions
was,
left on the
Jordan
board
Belfort.
potentially. And here is question 7. Category of comedies.
Oh!
flip
when
the
Mark
script.
does it.
It's actually the 7th question.
How many comedies have Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg co-starred in together?
See what I did there, Christian? When you
Well,
said it, I
there's two
laughed
that I know.
to support you, to lend support.
So let's
to you.
just play it
Yeah,
safe.
that's not
See how
necessary.
that works?
No, it's not necessary. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up, please. And we're going to start here with Ben Bateman.
Is it 3?
3.
That's correct. And Ethan.
Oh,
3.
All right. So, of course,
Ooh,
the answers
like
were
it.
the other guys, Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2.
okay. I didn't know about
So,
the other
it
guys,
is
but I
7
didn't know about
movies.
Daddy
Terrible
Home.
movies.
Yeah.
All right. So, this is where we stand at the moment. Both guys have 7 points. If they both get this right, they'll both get a bonus. So, here it is.
It's the category where genres clash head-on, romance and comedies combine for rom-coms. The question, who plays Andrew Paxton, the male lead in the romantic comedy The Proposal?
Just watched this one recently, too.
4 points
Wow,
is
you
good
have a
enough
lot
for
of free
me.
time.
I mean, it's half the amount of
so
questions
all the
that were
time I
asked,
should be watching
so-
the current stuff. I'm watching old rom-coms and 80s movies. 5, 4,
Red Dawn.
3. So you watched that recently. 1. And pens down, hands up, please. Ethan for the perfect round.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, sir. And
Really?
Ben.
Ryan Reynolds.
Huh.
Got ourselves an 8-8
I
game
was
with
gonna write it
both
down,
guys
but,
getting it. And now
I wasn't
we are
sure.
going to get
Huh.
this bonus question. Guys, it's the same way it's worked for the previous 8 questions.
Doesn't
You're going to
matter.
write it down on the whiteboard. You're going to reveal it. You get 15 seconds to do it. Here you
I'm
go.
not giving myself a point for that.
Who stars as a New York bike courier named Willie or Wiley in the 2012 action thriller Premium Rush?
Okay, back to your favorite Muppet.
Muppet was Animal.
Animal! Animal!
He didn't ask for yours.
Bastard!
3,
I appreciate it.
2, 1. Pens down. Hands up. Ben.
Jesse Eisenberg.
It's incorrect. And Ethan.
Oh!
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That is correct.
Really?
Ethan Erwin goes up by
Wow.
1 with a
I
big,
also
big
was gonna
point
say
there.
Joseph
That was big.
Gordon-Levitt, but
So Ethan Erwin gets that
then I
bonus
thought I was
question and takes a
confusing it
1
with
point
The
advantage
Walk,
over Ben
which was a
Bateman. So
I moved
now
from a different
we are
year.
going to get to the rules
Wow.
of round number 2.
I
It's a
know
wheel
more
round.
than I thought
That's
I did.
right. It is the wheel round.
Still
Round
didn't write
number
it down,
2. Each
so
competitor
no
gets to
points for me
spin
on the
at the
board.
virtual wheel. We don't have Ethan or Ben kind of money, so we don't have a wheel to send to you. So you spin it with your mind. Once you settle on a category, 4 questions emerge in that particular realm of Schmoedown mystery. Each question's worth 2 points. If you're not sure of the answer, you might want to ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which we pray is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. It might be useful because stealing, tomfoolery, thievery is available in round number 2. So here's where we are, Christian. Ethan Erwin has a slight lead over Ben, the boss Bateman. So it is up to big time to decide if he would like to spin first or defer to his opponent.
I will spin first.
All right. So we are going to remove
Surprise,
Ben
surprise.
Bateman, and we're going to bring in
Usually
Sam
spinning
Levine.
second when you're in the lead is
Sam, you got 60 seconds starting now.
Sam Levine's
Hey, buddy.
signature strategy.
Way to play an
but-
absolutely perfect round. I guess Ben forgot to read about Premium Rush. Maybe,
all right.
maybe he'll
It's
catch
further
it on,
down.
On his
It's
iPhone
further
later
down on the
tonight when he's
Wikipedia page.
has his evening BM. You're playing like the champion you are, my friend. So let's do
Definitely
this.
do.
I mean, we love this.
Yeah,
one.
look. Yeah, look, 50-50 chance it's opponent's choice
Me?
because I've been spun that last 2 rounds. But last 2 times. Let's see what happens. I'm ready.
Your times in a row.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
doesn't
Let's do it.
seem the
Your
math on that
days
doesn't
are numbered.
check out to me, but it's fun.
for the
It's fun.
most part.
I'm sure the wheel
No,
is
I'm ready. Let's do it.
You know, Sam, I was going to compliment you on your Conan O'Brien interview that I watched the other day, but I don't want to do that anymore.
That's fine. You shouldn't. It was not a great interview.
I liked it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Well,
Round and round it goes. It's not going to be opponent's choice. It could be Miss Nicole
it
Kidman.
is Nicole Kidman. 60 seconds to decide.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
this is-
I'm open to your counsel on this because
I mean, this is one of our 50-50s. If
Yeah.
you landed on it on your second one, we would not be afraid. If you landed on your first, it's a 50-50 chance whether or not you want to go again. As we know, I think there's way more on this wheel that we feel great about than anything that we feel not so great about. So if you want to roll the dice again, I support that.
I agree with you. Let's do it.
Okay.
Gonna roll the dice?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the second spin. Even though, Ethan, we worked with Nicole Kidman
We
together.
did,
Yes,
but
we
I
did.
assume I won't get a question in that one because
Were you
know,
guys
I'm-
all in BMX Bandits together?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Nicole Kidman. Shoot. Nicole
The
Kidman
wheel wants
wants
what
to work
the
with us
wheel
again.
wants.
So here we go. All right. So Nicole Kidman, it is. All right. So Ben Bateman is back. Nicole Kidman. Ethan Erwin will get
Lacone Nickmid.
4 questions in the realm of Nicole Kidman. Ethan, are you ready?
I am.
Here you go. Ethan, which director did Nicole Kidman work with for the second time in her career when she filmed the 2011 crime drama film Trespass?
Joel Schumacher.
2 points.
Really? They never
All right.
worked again after Batman
Nicole
Forever?
Kidman stars in what 1989 thriller about a couple who encounter a psychotic stranger while on a sailboating trip?
Dead Calm.
Yes, sir. In Days of Thunder, Cole Trickle's car is sponsored by which soft drink?
Mellow Yellow.
2 more points.
Underrated soft drink.
Ethan
Sheesh.
Erwin crushing.
Do they still make it?
Sweeping
I
that
don't know, but I
category.
want some.
And here is your final question, Ethan. In 2002's Birthday Girl, Kidman plays a mail-order bride from which country?
Wait,
I
that's a
mean,
thing?
I know what I want to say, but let's do multiple choice.
Is it
That's
A,
a thing?
Russia, B, Sweden, C, Ukraine, D, Iceland?
I guess I should have gone with my first guess. Is it A, Russia?
Yes, it is for one more point. So Ethan
gonna
Erwin
say
having a
Sweden.
great round there. Great
Just
round.
saying.
Finds himself 16-8, 16-8. And now we are going to remove Ethan, who's one of the best second-round players in the
Okay.
game there, going really, really quick. And now we remove him, and we bring in Adam Witt, who will be managing
Ooh,
Ben Bateman for
No
this one, as
Kaiser
Kaiser was
today.
not able to make it. So here we go. Mr. Witt. All right, Witt, 60 seconds to talk to Bateman starting now.
All right, Mr.
still wearing
Bateman.
the
Now,
shoulder
first of all, I
thing?
want to apologize. I know you don't like to watch movies, so of course I went over the great genre of bicycling movies last night with sock puppets, and I did not make it to Premium Rush. That's on me. We got to American Flyers, we got to Quicksilver, and a lot of stuff like that. I apologize. That's completely on me. But you know what? We got a 1-point difference, and he had to check down. So we know where this goes right now, right?
yeah.
Kaiser's going to hear about it, Whit.
It's a
He's going to
tie.
hear about this.
Look,
He didn't
and-
cover Premium Rush.
I'm sorry. There's a big difference between
Hey,
me
the
and
guy
Kaiser.
said
I mean,
he
first of
was
all, I'm
sorry.
wanted
What
in
do
less
you want
states. But
from him, Ben?
other than that, I know
Come
there's a wide berth in our training, and I'll get caught up. So, but I think you got this. You got all your JTs.
8 points. We're going to go perfect. It's going to be tied, so it's just about
Absolutely. You are a master statistician on how this goes. Let's just roll that
10 seconds.
wheel. Let's spin that wheel, and we're going to get something really exciting. I guarantee it.
Let's do it.
All right, here is the wheel, and
Wait, I forget.
Bateman
Is this
is
a
up with the
5-round
spin, and
match
here
or
it
is
is.
it a 3-round match? I
Tiger
don't
looked
remember.
good today, Christian.
Yeah, really good.
Cleaned himself up.
I thought so. And landing.
Seriously?
Nicole Kidman
What
really
is
wance
wrong
to be.
with this
all those
wheel?
questions on
That's the
Nicole's
same
Hey.
questions.
The wheel must
She
have
just
seen a lot of
so
Nicole
desperately
Kidman
wants to be
movies lately.
Meryl Streep this
Just,
year.
Nicole Kidman.
Spy films. Spy
got the
films.
hots
60
for it.
seconds, starting now.
All right, well, we did discuss this. And how are you feeling at this point?
I like the slice in general. It's hasn't been spun many times, but I also know Ethan likes this slice a lot.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
he
We've
likes
got
it.
we've got a particular context on this one, and that's kind of defined whether we went with it or not. But I'm up to you.
I think worst case scenario, we hit opponent's choice and he gives us spy or something like that, which fine. All
Or
right.
Nicole Kidman.
I mean-
I think we roll again.
Yeah. Do it again.
Let's land
All
on
right,
Nicole
here's the
Kidman
spin.
again.
So whatever Ben Bateman gets here, he's got
That
to go.
sounded so wrong. I'm
Spin
sorry.
is in, and here
sounded
is
so
the
bad.
category. It is going. Okay.
I called it.
Nicole Kidman,
I
Christian.
called
Seems
it!
to
I think the world record on FCL, I think they spun Tom Cruise 5 times in a row.
That makes sense, knowing Tom Cruise.
Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry it is. All right.
I
so-
mean, it's a risk, but
Didn't
I guess
he do
we'll go
well
with
in
Tyler Perry.
against Roca? Or was
all
it
right,
in
Tyler
the
Perry
category?
movies.
All right.
All right, thank you. All right, so now Ben Bateman will get 5 questions. 4 questions in the realm of.
This isn't
Tyler
a
Perry.
Geek, Christian.
All right,
Star
Ben, you
Wars.
heard the man. The category is Tyler Perry, and for 2 points apiece, unless you need the aid of multiple choice. Your first question. Tyler Perry plays scientist Baxter Stockman, who creates 2 mutant creatures named Bebop and Rocksteady in what action-adventure franchise?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, more specifically, Out of the Shadows.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise.
Yeah, the franchise.
That is correct for 2
Teenage
points,
Mutant
and
Ninja
Bateman on the
Turtles.
board in round number 2. We
He's
go
so
to your
mad
next
we did
question.
that.
I mean,
In the
you
world
could have
of
just
Tyler
stopped
Perry.
at Baxter
What
Stockman and I
2005
would have
film was
gotten
the
it,
first
so.
theatrical feature in which Tyler Perry appeared as Medea?
I don't know.
2005?
I don't know.
Five.
Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
That is correct for 2 points.
Okay, that's
And
impressive.
Bateman
I'll give
perfect
him that. It's
halfway
impressive.
through round number 2. His penultimate question in the world of Tyler Perry is: Neil Long, Amy Smart, and Terry Crews star in what film directed by Tyler Perry?
And 5, 4, 3.
The Single Moms Club.
Another correct
pretty sure he
question
knew
answer
that,
for 2 more
but he was
points. And
waiting
now we go
for,
to your
the
final question in the
countdown.
world of Tyler Perry movies. If you hit it, we're going to be tied going in to round number 3. Here it is. In Medea Goes to Jail, Medea becomes enraged with a snobby woman for doing what in a public setting, which results in Medea serving time?
And 5, 4, 3.
For taking her parking space.
What is he doing this?
It's a perfect round number 2 for Ben Bateman, Christian.
All right, so
Right
Ben
away.
Bateman. Ben Bateman now finds himself
Yeah,
tied up with
that's
Ethan
the
Erwin.
thing.
It's
He's
16,
milking the
16.
clock.
Both the guys
That's what
do
he's
really
doing.
well in round
He's
number
waiting
2.
for the last possible
And
second to
look
answer
at
something
that.
he already knows.
How did that come in there?
I am. I was milking the clock. I wonder how
Why
Ethan
would
would
you
have
do
done in
that?
that round. Ethan, be honest. How would you have done in that round? Would you have gotten 3 points? 4
I would have
points?
gotten all of them actually.
Really?
Really?
really
Even
would've.
he's written Ninja Turtles?
All right, well,
I guess-
either way, we're tied up
I'm
here
so
now.
stupid.
And
He
now
produced
we
that
are
movie.
going to
What
get
is
to
wrong
round
with
number
me? He
3,
produced
all tied
that
up. It is the
movie.
final round.
Round number 3 brought to you by Mellow Yellow, a beverage apparently still available at certain Taco Bell restaurants in the Southeast. Each competitor is going to give us a series
How
of
would I-
numbers
how
to
would I
kick off
forget
round number 3. These numbers may
Ethan
range from
Erwin
1 to 20. We need 3 numbers
produced
from
the
each
new
of you
Teenage Ninja
because
Turtles
each
movies.
numeral corresponds to a unique category of movie trivia Schmoedown mystery. Your first question is going to be worth 2 points. Your next one's worth 3
did
points.
that
Your final question is worth 5 big points. It's all tied up, Christian, and so by proxy, we do go to Ben Bateman for his lucky numbers first. Ben, from 1 to 20, what 3 numbers feel fortunate?
I'm going to go with 3, 7, and 17, Mark. Thank you.
Okay, so
3,
it's
7, and
definitely a
17 for Ben and for Ethan.
3-round match.
I'll do 1, 10, and
I was
20.
wrong.
1, 10, and 20. All right, so we are going to remove Ethan Erwin at the moment and bring in Adam Witt.
Hey
All
there.
right, Adam, you got 60 seconds starting now.
Ben, you're the best. You're the best. Look at how that all played out. It's you're just manipulating the chess pieces on this. There's no way Ethan can keep up with you. This is so great. This is you doing what you do, and you have all your repeats left. You're ready to take this. You're ready to take this 3rd round. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited to watch this. I'm so excited to be sitting in this chair. Is this how much fun Kaiser has watching you do this? Dominate your opponents. I'm in, baby. I'm just sitting here. I'm eating chips. This is like I'm sitting at home. This is awesome. How you feeling though?
Good, man. Eat the chips. I'm feeling
All right.
good. Let's get to this and let's get this 5-pointer because Sam's
Let's
gonna come
do
on
this.
right now and he's gonna be like, oh, buddy, I'm so proud of you. Let's just wait for Bateman to miss his 5-pointer. That's what he's gonna do. That's what Levine's gonna come on and
You
do.
missed
But it's
it
not gonna
last
happen
time.
today. We're
10
gonna win
seconds.
right now.
Exactly.
So that's it. I'm calling the shot. We're winning this game and I'm hitting my 5.
You got it, baby. You got it, baby. Let's do this.
All right, thank you to the dungeon, and now we bring in Swag. Sorry.
Swag.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, Bayman's going to miss his 5. You got this. I'm on the phone like bookie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, he didn't go perfect in round 1. Yeah. So no, he would have the lead right now if he hadn't missed the bonus question. Great. So sorry about that.
No, totally cool.
Yeah, this is great, man.
Yeah.
Do you know how much Ben hates himself right now for missing Premium Rush? He'd have a 1-point lead right now. But instead,
You know what? I probably would not have gone multiple choice had that not been the case. I would have just gone with Russia. So it
That's
would
all
have
right,
been
man.
the same.
Don't worry about it.
Hey,
You know
don't
why?
worry
We're not
about
trailing.
it. Don't worry about
I
it.
just have to say, with
just-
whatever few
you
seconds
know,
I have
have it
left,
happen.
Ben, we know you keep putting Tyler Perry on the wheel because it's a small amount of films and you've watched them all. Just stop it. The cat's out of the bag.
Yeah,
Pick something else for
come
next
on.
time. All the other competitors who play you are watching Tyler Perry movies. So, done.
10 seconds.
Anyway, Ethan, you're crushing it, and we know exactly what has to be done. All
Yep.
3 JTEs left. We have our challenge ready for when Ben pulls some nonsense. Go
Time.
ahead.
All right, thank you, Sam. Now we bring back Bateman.
You watched all those Tyler Perry movies, huh? That's a good use of your time. I hope you enjoyed them.
You know what? They're delightful.
All right, so we're going to start with Ethan Erwin. Ethan Erwin chose category 1, Mark, category 1. And that is going to take Ethan to crime films. Crime films.
Crime films it is. Speaking of crime, we hear the Schmoedown don't condone betting unless it's on Wesley Snipes and he's on an airplane. Crime movies, Ethan, for 2 points, and more importantly, a 2-point lead over the boss, your opponent. Your question. Who plays the lead role of Will Graham in 2002's Red Dragon?
Edward Norton.
It's a 2-point lead for Big Time, and now
That's
the boss looking to
See,
tie.
that's how you play
All
the
right,
game,
so
Bateman.
here is the
You answer
2-point
the
question for
Thinking question.
Ben Bateman. And he chose category number 3. That puts him to biopics.
Biopics.
Yes, it does, and you pronounced it correctly, as I know how to do now. Ben, biopics is the category. You can tie Big Time's lead if you get this question correct, and it is. Gary Oldman won an Oscar for playing what famous British Prime Minister in the film Darkest Hour?
Winston Churchill. Come on.
Something about a tiger
Even
and a
I
mouse.
know
and
that.
You are correct for 2 points. Back to a tied ball game, Christian, which means we go back to Big Time
Again,
for
I mean,
his
it is
3-ball.
the
Ethan
2-pointer,
chose category
so
10.
whatever.
That puts him in the realm of the 1980s for his 3-point question. And here is the question mark in 80s movies.
I believe Ethan was on Earth for at least a couple of these years in the 1980s.
I believe
Ethan, your question for 3 points and, once again, the lead. In the film The Goonies, what is the name of the pirate whose ship the kids are in search of?
One-Eyed Willie.
It is One-Eyed Willie.
It's a family show, so I'll refrain from making some sort of joke to tag that. I will simply say you are correct for 3 points. And now we go back to Bateman for his 3-pointer, Christian.
All right, so
Yeah,
here
how'd that go
is
there?
the 3-point question for Ben Bateman. Ben Bateman chose category 7. Category 7, that puts him with
that's my
DiCaprio
voice right
films,
now.
Mark. DiCaprio.
Lucky Joe Theismann
Scorpio.
gets you DiCaprio films. And your question, Mr. Bateman, for 3 points and to tie once again. Which DiCaprio film has supporting roles from famous directors Spike Jonze, Rob Reiner, and Jon Favreau?
Wait. Repeat the question. Did he say supporting performances?
5, 4,
Waiting till the last
3.
second.
Repeat the question.
First one.
Maybe not. Maybe just
All right. Category is DiCaprio, and your question, which DiCaprio film has supporting roles from famous directors Spike Jonze, Rob Reiner, and Jon Favreau?
Okay, the Favreau thing kind of makes it easier, but still not an easy feat. Feet.
5, 4, 3, 2.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Is correct for 3 points. We're back to a tied
Really?
game, and now, Christian, this is where it gets interesting. Currently tied,
I saw
and we
half that
hit
movie,
the
so
5-point level of
I
round
don't
number
know.
3.
All right, so Ethan Erwin, should he hit it, he's going to bounce it to Ben to force him into hitting his 5 to force it into sudden death. If he misses it, however, then he gives Ben the opportunity to win it. Here is the category. It's category 20, and he chose 2010s for the 5-pointer.
Okay, Ethan, I believe you were alive for a couple years in this decade as well.
Also true.
2010s is the category, and your question for 5 points
He
to
might
take a
have even produced some
5-point
of the
lead
movies
over the boss.
in this category.
Famke Janssen plays the evil Grand Witch Muriel in what 2013 film with Gemma Arterton?
So not the one.
Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Really?
I mean, he even got the colon subtitle of it, Christian. That is correct
Wow,
for
that was
5
the
points.
one I
Big
was
Time has a
thinking of, but
5-point lead, meaning now it's time
As
for
soon as
the
he said
boss to
Gemma
answer a
Arterton, I was
5-pointer.
like, no,
He's
that's
got to
not
have.
good.
Ben
Wow.
Bateman
See you on
needs
Sunday.
Wow.
Ben Bateman needs
I
to
knew
hit
that.
this. If he
Didn't
hits
say
it, we're
it,
going
obviously,
to
so no
sudden
points on
death.
the board for me, but
And that would be
still.
his second sudden death in 2 matches. So if he misses it, however, Ethan Erwin will be going on to face Dan Murrell for the championship. All right. Here is the question. He chose category 17. That puts him to directors. Directors,
People who do this for a living, and now you can
People
continue
that
to make
you
your
think
living
know
as an
it.
elite Schmoedown player by answering a question in their world. Ben, for 5 points, and to force sudden death in the match. What Oscar-winning actor directed the films Drive, He Said, and Going South.
Okay, I'm just gonna rest up because I know he's gonna milk it with the JTEs and the
5,
waiting till the last second.
4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Second one.
All right, you have one JTE rule remaining. Your question in the world of directors. What Oscar-winning actor directed the films Drive, He Said, and Going South?
Like, again, I don't understand why he's doing it. Like, if you know the answer, just go ahead and answer. That's the last question anyways. Why do you want to make the match longer than it needs
5,
to be? Like, I don't get
4,
it.
3, 2.
Last repeat.
Last one.
All right. It's your final repeat and the question for 5 points. What Oscar-winning actor directed the films Drive, He Said, and Going South?
See, my headphones are starting to lose their
5,
battery charge
4,
from the
3,
stupid long match.
2.
Albert Brooks.
And your
winner!
Ethan!
Big Time! Erwin! Just
The
in
answer
time,
was
my
Jack
headphones were
Nicholson.
starting to lose
Jack
their
Nicholson
battery.
was the answer. Jack Nicholson
Nicholson.
was the answer.
It does appear, Christian, that we do have a challenge that is still eligible and is being utilized by the dungeon.
Okay.
Like when the manager calls for instant
All right.
replay.
All right.
Hey,
Play.
this
All
is
right.
exactly instant replay for this. Is that question appropriately stated because it sounds like 3 movies? For example, the movie Drive, which is another movie, is not directed by Jack Nicholson. Drive, He Said, I don't know, half the title of He Said, She Said. I'm just saying, was that question appropriately stated that it was 2 movies that we're talking about, one of which has a comma in the title? Drive, comma, He Said is the title of one movie.
Right.
Is that confusing?
And Adam, to add to your point, before we move on to Sam's rebuttal, which you're going to get,
The movies,
or
Drive,
to reference
He Said.
the film Drive, which there are multiple versions of films called Drive, you would need to reference the year, because obviously I'm going to focus on one film called Drive as opposed to specifically the film you are asking about. You are not specifying the film you're asking about in 1/3 of the film's reference in the question.
All right. So that's your argument. Sam, counter.
Absolutely.
Here's my counter. Ben utilized his remaining 2 JTEs, and Mark Ellis on the last one very clearly stated Drive, he said, and
He said-
Going South.
Okay, did
And
he say
the
2
problem
movies?
is, Albert Brooks directed 0 of those. He did not direct Drive. He did not direct some mystery movie you're inventing called He Said, and he most certainly did not direct Going South.
Wait a second. We're talking about a movie called Drive, He Said. That's the name of the movie. We're not talking
Drive,
about a movie called
comma, He
Drive.
Said is the title of the movie.
He specified it only on the last pronunciation of the film. I thought I was dealing with the movie Drive, literally. I thought
This
that's what he
is,
was
I
asking
mean,
me.
I
that's
don't
arguments,
mind
both
you
are-
challenging. I know you like to win, but
All
this
right.
is
Like
pretty
both
flimsy.
both arguments are in there.
It's
And
not flimsy.
All right. So we're gonna talk, and we'll be back. Challenge on the table.
All right.
If that's your issue, why would you even clarify it at the very end and not, ask for clarification on the movie's title the first time he asked it? I mean, I love Adam Witt. Don't get me wrong, I love Adam Witt. Ben clearly didn't even know there was another movie called Drive, he said. He thought he was just... And again, I'm with Sam on this one. Ben, very stupidly, like he always does, he used his stupid repeats again and again. He should have listened to the question. Drive, he said, not drive, he said. I'm mad at this. I agree with Sam on this one. Just take the stinking loss and learn not to misuse your JDEs in the future. Stop doing it, Ben. I'm getting mad at this. I'm getting upset. This is the Schmoedown. I love the Schmoedown. I shouldn't be... Okay, Zen. I am Zen. I mean, again, like I said, if you use a JTE, don't use it just to milk the clock and, try to throw people off pretending you don't know the answer. If you use a JTE, use it right. Listen to the question that you're given. I had times in my matches I needed repeats to hear the specificity of the question. There we go. My headphones are acting up again. It's a long challenge, apparently. I guess that's part of the reason why this match is taking so long as it does. Should have charged my my headphones longer than I did. I really hope I'm going to have enough battery to last the end of the match. Let's see how much longer we have to wait for this challenge. Looks like the challenge is going on for another 2 minutes. I'm not going to last that long. Hold on. For the sake of my headphones, we're going to skip ahead. Give me a second.
All right, and we are coming back, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back, and we have the combination as well as the ruling on the challenge on behalf of the Dungeon. Adam Witt stepping in for the role of Kaiser. The ruling is as follows. The question listed multiple films directed by Jack Nicholson. The fact that Ben Bateman wagered an answer that was Albert Brooks, maybe relating to Drive, maybe not, is irrelevant, as is the fact that one of the films was properly stated by the announcer, Going South. The issue is that, again, the announcer, much like a lot of the audience, was not familiar with the first film, Drive, he said, and thus in at least 2 out of the 3 wordings of the question said Drive, he said. The announcer, the guy talking right now, only said Drive, he said, is one film on the last repeat rule. So the ruling is that because the question was not properly asked nor worded, the challenge will be upheld, and the ruling will be Ben Bateman will be asked a different 5-point question in the same category and will retain the usages of any JTE rules he wagered during that question.
But again!
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Ben, had he said it correctly, would you have known the answer?
I have no idea because I was locking onto the movie Drive the whole time, which I know is directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, and that Albert Brooks is in it, and that he's directed films, which I know is not an actor who's won
you know the movie very well, clearly.
I don't know what we don't
have really an official terminology for this in the Schmoedown, but this is the baseball version of playing the rest of this match under protest.
All right, well, the challenge is in, it is noted, and now we will go to the 5-point question. All right, here we go.
All right, Ben, just to recap everything in the recent madness, your challenge was upheld, and you do retain your usages of JTE rules that you wagered during the previous 5-point questions. All that understood by both competitors.
Understood.
Roger that. Then your question
is
once again in the category of directors, and it's for 5 points to tie the lead of Ethan Big Time Erwin and to force sudden death in this match. Ben, what director helmed the 1990 Jamie Lee Curtis film Blue Steel?
Okay, he's going to use his repeats again, so...
Five, four, three. First, second one.
All right. You have one JTE rule remaining. The question: what director helmed the 1990 Jamie Lee Curtis film Blue Steel?
You know he knows it. He's
Catherine Bigelow.
Or maybe not.
Good work.
That is correct. And ladies and gentlemen, we have sudden death upon us yet again.
All right, so now we are going to sudden death, and it is 26-26, Bateman and Erwin, 26-26 as we go into sudden death. All right, Mark, so what are the rules for sudden death?
The rules of sudden death are as follows.
Each
competitor has a JTE rule at their disposal. And other than that, it's going to play like a normal round number 1, except the stakes are much, much more intense because we'll ask a question. You have 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer on your writing surface of preference. Once we ask you by name or nickname, please reveal what you wrote to your camera. At the same time, you verbalize your attempt into the microphone. And because it is sudden death, if both competitors get the question correct, they earn a point, and we move on to another question. If both competitors miss it, there's no penalty for missing a question. We move on to a new query. If one competitor gets this question correct and the other misses it, the correct answer or will be the winner of the match.
All right, so we are going to sudden death, and here we go. First question in sudden death. All right, guys. So for your first
Can I
question,
clarify? In sudden death, we both get one repeat. Are
Yes,
there
you
any
get one,
challenges in sudden
JT.
death?
You know this already.
there is one
Shut up.
challenge in sudden death.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
All right. Here is the question. What actor was the star of the classic westerns, The Gunfighter, The Bravados, and McKenna's Gold? Five.
I have no idea, but I just wrote
Three.
a generic.
Repeat the question.
All right. Is your only one? What actor was the star of the classic westerns, The Gunfighter, The Bravados, and McKenna's Gold?
It's yet another sudden death, Christian. The match under some controversy, but very well played by both competitors thus far.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up. We start with Ben Bateman.
Is it John Wayne?
John Wayne.
And Ethan Erwin.
Which apparently has an E
I
at the
also
end
said
of it.
John Wayne.
Looking for Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck
Okay.
is the answer. All right, so both getting it wrong there. And now we go to our next question, Mark.
All right, gentlemen, it's for another point. You have 15 seconds to answer. And once again, it is sudden death. Bateman is out of repeats. Ethan Erwin still has his to utilize. And your question. Which wrestler plays Dan Payne, the right hand of Eric Roberts' James Monroe, in The Expendables? Ethan can take a little bit of
I'm gonna
time.
take
He
a
has
guess.
repeat. Bateman does not.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands
just
up.
a
We start with
guess.
Ethan.
I
John
said Stone
Cena?
Cold Steve Austin.
And Bateman.
Bill Goldberg.
And your
Congratulations.
winner, big time, Ethan Erwin! Erwin wins it in sudden death.
Wow!
Erwin thought he lost it, but won it in sudden death. He thought he missed it.
The way you played it so friggin' cool. I was like, oh, okay.
Erwin wins it after Sam Levine almost blew some steam through his ears and
Oh, I
shot through
blew
the
my
roof.
steam. That's called cheaters proof, baby. We had to win twice,
Yeah!
win once.
Well,
Cheaters
nonetheless,
never
you got
prosper!
yourselves a victory here. Pick up the 4
Well,
points,
I
and you're
guess
going to
cheaters
play
sometimes prosper.
Mr. Merle for the singles championship once again.
All right.
Congratulations to the suspects. Congratulations, Ethan. And we will be seeing you guys in just a moment with Jen Sturger. Wow, so Ethan Erwin does it after a crazy ending of a match, and it doesn't end there. And Ethan, that was really, Ethan thought he lost. He said congratulations to Ben, and he wind up winning the match. Bill Goldberg, Stone Cold, they've been confused before in the past, but this time Stone Cold gets the victory over Bill Goldberg.
And I believe they both do appear in the Expendables franchise in some degree. And so, look, Christian, you and I have been doing this for a long time. Just when you think you've seen it all, you get a match like this. Ben the Boss Bateman, again going to sudden death. That maybe could have been predicted, but the way he got there, anything but. A well-played challenge by Adam Witt, a very tough ruling on either side. It's one of those 51-49 sort of decisions, but it is in the interest of the Schmoedown that it was correctly ruled, and we moved on to sudden death. And so Ethan Erwin, being able to compose himself after being the subject of going against a tough ruling like that, he manages to stabilize himself, pull out 2 very tough answers. Ben Bateman getting that John Wayne question was credit to him enough. And then you look at the Expendables movie, a movie that maybe would favor Ben and his history in the Action Army. Ethan Erwin gets it. Ben Bateman gets so close. He got a wrestler. He got close to the right wrestler, and it's just that thin of a margin. And the winner gets the spoils. In this case, that spoils name is Dan Murrell.
Yeah, it's true. Look, Ethan Erwin does. That's the difference, I think, with Ethan Erwin than many other players, is that there's tons of players, and no offense to the great Sam Levine, he's one of the best players ever. Sam can get heated, and he certainly does it as a manager and even as a player. Ethan Erwin stays calm. Ethan Erwin stays calm, and even through all of that, even if he didn't feel the way it went, maybe the way he wanted, or whatever, he just stayed calm. He stayed in the pocket, and I believe that's why he was able to maintain and take that victory. That is why Ethan Erwin is as good as he is. And he comes out in sudden death here with the victory over Ben, the boss, Bateman. He takes the victory. It is 27-26. Ethan Erwin wins it. All right, so we are going to talk to Jen Sturger, who is with Sam Levine and Ethan Erwin, and the suspects who pick up big 4 points. And there are a lot of factions out there right now who are probably screaming and yelling in applause for the suspects because they just put a big stop on the dungeon, potentially getting 11 or 12 points. All right, so here we go. Jen Sturger is with Ethan Erwin and Sam Levine. Jen?
Hey, Jen.
Hi, guys. I believe it's from Austin 316 that you just kicked his butt. Don't worry, Courtney. I'm not cussing. This is a family-friendly show. Anyways, let's get right to the end of this. That was an insane turn of events. Obviously, you know, as it may, you were ready to essentially... You're getting ready to get tossed, Sam. Let's be real. If you push that any further.
If the umpires had thrown me out of the game, I would have been fine with it. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I know that people are going to come down on me. Oh, Sam got fired up. Sam said stuff too far. If you don't have a manager in the Schmoedown fighting for you and getting as worked up as I just got up, then you're with the wrong faction.
Yes.
Then you're with somebody who doesn't know the game, who doesn't know the answers, who doesn't know the questions. And that's what I want to do for my players, and that's what I do for my players.
But
I said,
that's why it always
you
helps
probably would have made the same exact challenge.
No, because I would have said,
well,
well, it's not like he said the director of Going South, which was clearly said 3 straight times, Jen. 3 times. The man didn't know who directed any of those.
Oh, I know.
Nicholas Winding Refn, the director of the film Drive. So,
hats off.
To be honest, I also would not have known, and I was so glad he got that question. I'm so glad he took a couple of my normal numbers, because I definitely would not have answered that question.
Well, hats off to you, Ethan, for maintaining your cool, honestly. But I will say, the chat got a little feisty for you. They were like, Ethan looks so mad.
You know what? He wasn't mad. Ethan, and they said it exactly right. He stays cool, calm, and collected from minute 1 until the match is over. I'm the one who gets fired up. That's my job here as the manager, is to spit blood, play under protest when I feel it's called for, and to celebrate my guy when he wins. And for those who are unfamiliar with the phrase cheater's proof, I'm not implying anyone cheated. It is an expression when you have to win twice to win once.
I'm just saying, if you're spitting blood, Sam, you might want to see a doctor about that.
I saw Finstock, and he said everything was fine.
Oh, God. Well, anyways,
your doctor.
Sam, the suspects really needed this win today, obviously. But now you have 2 number 1 contender matches now in IG and singles. So how are you feeling after today's win?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Aside from your blood pressure being through the roof right now.
No, it's gone down significantly. I feel terrific because it's no secret. Amaru was our first draft pick, our number 1 draft pick, and Ethan came over as one of the free agents before the draft started. So I have always had tremendous confidence, always in what Ethan can do as a player, in what Amaru can do as a player, in what every single member of the suspects can do as players. And we've had a lot of ups and downs, but I feel like we are absolutely in the zone right now, and that is all being led by Ethan Erwin. And I'm so proud of this guy.
Well, now that you've taken out one member, cheers to you as well. One part of Danger Zone, you get to face the other. How are you going to beat Dan Murrell this time around?
How'd you beat him last time, Ethan?
It did help that we did it at like 8:30 in the morning, but I will, but no, you know what, at the end of the day, it's really just what you know. I mean, and how the chips fall, like, you know, again, some of Ben's questions, I don't know how I would have done on them. My question is, I don't know how he would have done on mine. It worked out. But no, for Dan, there's not much you can do to prepare because the guy knows literally like a little bit of everything and a lot of a few specific things. So
And
no,
it's
I'm
gonna
going
be
to
5
go and have a
rounds,
good time.
so
I mean, look,
it's gonna be a lot of
I've
questions
always
there.
taken him, to the end. So I feel I can at least do that. But I've because of the study sessions we've been doing, especially Paige for Betty, Frank Alvarez, Amaru, all those folks have really put in a lot of time and have really helped me study a lot. So which I appreciate, and thank you guys. This is for you.
Well, congratulations today, gentlemen. I believe we should start making some Ethan 316 shirts. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe some merchandising is in order from this victory. All right?
Like yogurt.
The kids will love that one.
I just
too.
said it.
That's why she's the best, folks.
Thanks again, guys. Congratulations.
Thanks. And can I say one other thing? Good
Of
job,
course.
Ben. Great work, and thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Classy statement there by big time Ethan Erwin. And by the way, just a reminder that both Ethan Erwin and Sam Levine will be talking to $10 patrons in just a moment. So just you guys will get that link. So any questions that you have for Ethan, anything you want to talk to Ethan, but Ethan will get another shot at that singles championship, and he will have to do it every time that Ethan has played in the singles championship match. It's been against Dan Murrell, so it's going to happen again. It's Dan Murrell, and we're excited for that match. That match will happen. We're hopefully end of July. Hopefully, so that's what we're looking at. End of July, maybe August. We're looking. So
this match just happened, and you're already scheduling the next one. That's why you wear that captain's hat.
I'm just letting the audience know. So we're just looking. The final score at the moment was Ethan Erwin 27, Ben Bateman 26 in sudden death. That was it. And Ethan Erwin comes out with the victory. He now stands at 14-6. 14-6. Only 4 wins behind Dan Murrell, I think, for most wins in Schmoedown history.
An incredible performance by both competitors, though, Christian, because again, when you get to sudden death, it's just a matter of if you know that particular movie question or not. And so when you look at how well Ben Bateman played, look, it is emotionally exhausting playing anything in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. Even a fun exhibition match can take it out of you a little bit. For Bateman to be able to bounce back after having a sudden death match, to come back and do another one against someone who he's got some history with, even though it's not necessarily in the field of competition, I think it speaks a lot to, besides the shenanigans that his character is, to who he is as a competitor. He wants to win bad every time he steps foot on the Schmoedown.
Absolutely, and I stand corrected. John Roca actually is the number 2 most winning at 16. So it's Erwin at 14, Roca at 16, and Dan Murrell, of course, with 18 wins. So, all right. So now we are going to be talking with Jen Sturger, who is with Adam Witt and Ben Bateman. Jen?
Well...
Hi, gentlemen. I think we should just get right into it.
It would have been funny if
what do you want to talk about, Jen? Jen, what do you want to talk about? I'm open to anything.
Well, first of all, let me adjust my volume. There's a lot of screaming going on. But I will say this. It's fine. Whit, you did a fantastic job today stepping in for Kaiser. I have to, honestly, hats off to you. If you don't win Manager of the Week, I honestly, what are we doing with this whole Manager of the Week thing?
Good point. What is it all about?
I'm pretty sure
But let's talk about
it.
That challenge, obviously.
But that's just me,
Right away, were you already assuming that Ben would want to challenge it, or were you thinking the same thing playing along at home, going, I thought that was 3 movies, and suddenly it became 2 in the last reading?
Here's the crazy thing. I have seen Drive, He Said, in a theater at the New Beverly. It's a very boring movie. It's one of the few movies I've ever wanted to walk out of. I mean, I'm sure it had the best of intentions.
PJ.
But even having seen that movie and Going South, my mind focused when he said Drive. I immediately, obviously, like Ben, focused right in on Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive, and then I could not conflate the rest of that sentence until the second repetition. Then I go, oh yeah, Drive, He Said, that's a Nicholson movie. But I mean, I can't expect Ben to separate. Ben did not see that movie in the theater like I did. I'm a weirdo. I'm a film weirdo. I go see weird movies. But yeah, it just occurred to me that it really does sound like 3 movies, and you know, I mean, I got to fight for that. If I'm seeing Ben's mentality, I'm seeing, and I know he doesn't think about movies exactly the same way I do. Nobody in the dungeon is. That's why we're a really good team. But I know how Ben thinks of movies. I know how he trains. We do this together. That I can read that and go, wait a second, this is not making any sense to him because he didn't go see Drive. He said, and he maybe didn't read Easy Rider Raging Bulls, which had a story about the making of that movie. But but maybe he did also. I don't know. But yeah, I had to fight for that. I mean, you know, it's and also, you know, Sam can complain all he wants, and that was very nice of what Ethan said there. But if you're not as good as Ben Bateman, then you're not that close for it to matter. And Ben kept up with it. Nice. It's a small part of that book. It's not like that would be what you'd remember from that book. I'm sure you remember more of the Easy Riders and Raging Bulls parts of that book. But if you're not as close as Ben is, then none of that matters. And so, you know, Ben played a hell of a game. I mean, he kept up with him, and this was exactly what the fans came to watch, is this type of match where neither of them lose their cool, and Sam and I do.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to Adam Witt here. And I thought it was strange when Ellis changed the pronunciation of it at the end, because I was like,
did you catch it? Did you hear it?
Well, at the end, I was like, he's tired of me repeating because he thinks I know this answer, so he's just saying them a lot faster now. That's what I thought was happening. And then with the end, when they said Jack Nicholson, because the whole time I was focused on Drive, it was like, I know that Nicholas Winding Refn did that movie. We go over so much information in this game. Sometimes you are sure you're right about something and you're just wrong. But I couldn't, for the life, I love Drive. It's a great movie. I love that movie. Drive, he said, I don't know what that is. Going South, I know is a film that I think I've known at some point as a film directed by Jack Nicholson, but I mean, I didn't get there, obviously. But I couldn't get away from the fact that the film I knew I had seen was Drive, and I was trying to figure out why I was wrong about that. So I give a lot of credit to Witt for the challenge. I think people show up to these matches these days when I play to watch me lose. That's what they want to see. I know that. I get it. It's fair. Cheer for it, guys. So I didn't even challenge it. This guy challenged it. That my manager challenged that. Hey, I didn't even have the wherewithal to challenge it because I didn't even know what the freaking challenge was.
So that challenge aside, though, does the premium rush question kind of come back to haunt you in this moment?
I mean, as Witt said, you know, we didn't. The bicycling action film genre was left off the quiz. No, look,
Quicksilver, American Flyer, but I didn't get to it.
When you play guys like Ethan Erwin, or you play guys like Roca or Dan, or any of these guys that are at the top, you know you're going to get the best game. And sometimes you get lucky and they miss a question here and there, but you know you're going to have to go just about perfect. And so in regulation, in the end, with the questions that counted, I missed a question. That was it. We went to sudden death because of it. And at the end of the day, you know, I should have probably just had Gregory Peck. That's the one that actually kind of kills me. Stone Cold is a 50-50 shot because I can't remember which of those guys, but I sort of know which of the big Westerns are John Wayne movies. But anytime you're in that situation, you got to just guess John Wayne if you're not 100% sure. It's stupid to guess someone else if you're not sure, because half the time the answer is John Wayne in the movie trivia Schmoedown. But overall,
almost everything.
Overall, it was a great match. Ethan's a great player, and as I've always said, when it comes to in-game play, I know what he knows, and I know how dangerous he is. I think Sam clarified himself, but he was fired up. He threw in the CH word that we're not going to talk about. I think it's an inappropriate word to use in any context when you're talking about live gameplay inside the rules. But, you know, he clarified, so I wanted to win. I guess I'm in the tournament now. I guess that's what it is.
So that was my next question, honestly, you know. So this loss obviously leaves you open to compete in singles, and the tournament this year will be 32 players, everyone out there watching. So I guess I have to ask you, will you be in this tournament?
1,000%. I didn't realize that the tournament was 32 players. When did that happen?
Well, I just get the notes. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Well, 32-player singles tournament, then I'll be in the tournament. And hopefully I'll be fighting one more time to get another shot at Dan Murrell at the end of the season this season. Look, Jen, I think that my play over the last several matches speaks for itself. I think I'm playing better than I've ever played. And
you are. Sometimes
you lose a match. It just happens sometimes. So I'll approach the next great player.
Sometimes you play Ethan Erwin, an almost impossible person to beat. You took him to overtime. So it's a great match. Nothing was lost here, except for points.
I wanted to win. I let down the dungeon today. Even with a great performance, I didn't win.
Happens.
And that's disappointing. We're a family in the dungeon. We fight together. We win together. We lose together. I know they're going to have my back, but I still wanted to bring it home. I still wanted to get that shot.
So I guess I do have to ask, Kaiser noticeably absent today. Who's going to be managing against Dan, with Dan?
Jen, we're gonna have to approach that when the match happens.
Yeah.
I'll be training up Dan and getting him ready, much as the same that he does for me. And as far as the manager that day, I think we would be lucky to have Adam Witt. But obviously,
I'm not
Kaiser
gonna
is the
lie.
captain.
I'm
Thank
kind
you.
of impressed. I'm
If
kind
we-
of impressed. If Kaiser doesn't come back, I don't feel like you're left in terrible hands at this point.
Well, thank you, Jen. That's very nice of you. I think if we want to sell tickets, we get Video Drew, but we'll find out if she's available.
I'm sorry, gentlemen, that today did not go your way. But it was a valiantly fought match, and good luck in the singles tournament, Ben.
Thanks, Jen.
Nice. Well, that was indeed an exclusive from Jen Sturger, who was given the okay to go ahead. So there were some big changes overall in the tournaments this year. And in order to make sure, we gave the managers an opportunity to vote on what they had, because there was only so much match time that we had, crew time that we had, everything that we were able to do. There was only so much room for a couple of different options. So we gave options to the managers, and this is what they voted on. So this is what you're going to see for tournament season, which is coming up not too shortly after Collision. 8-person Inner Geekdom, 8-person Star Wars, only 8 teams. The 16 has been cut to 8, so 8 teams. And in order to get that down to, and the reason why the 8 teams was in order to get the 32-person tournament. It was a matter of either getting the 16 teams and then 16 singles, meaning only 2. But the factions voted to get 4 players per faction instead of 2. So it will be 32 singles and 8 teams, 8 Inner Geekdom, and 8 Star Wars players. So
there are some teams that I
is going
wanted
to
see.
be the tournaments, and the schedule for
Only 8
July
teams
will be
means
out
less.
very, very soon. That will also
Option
that'll
to
be
see them.
posted on the Facebook group, and then shortly, I'm sure, after Reddit. By the way, I said this on SCN the other day, and I'd like to say this on a Schmoedown match as well too. I want to give credit to the Reddit page. When a lot of people, I think that the Reddit page in general gets a bad rap, and I know that they've changed with admins and they've done some different things, and a lot of after shows, and myself included, have kind of given a dig at the Reddit page. I'd like to say that page has been doing some really good stuff. You should follow that if you enjoy Reddit and going on over to Reddit. The Schmoedown Reddit page is a really they've been really getting involved over there, and I'm sure they're going to get involved here. And I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
That was very well said, Christian. And look, this is an exciting matchup for a Friday night. That's why we call it Battlefield. But we got some really, really big matches coming up in the near future in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. It's hot in June. It's only going to get hotter in July, bud.
Hence,
Yeah, it's
hence
going to
the
get on.
fact
There's
I'm still
lots
with the air
going on, and
conditioner on.
we are going to send that link out to have the Q&A with both Ethan and Sam Levine. So have your questions ready. Look for it on the Patreon page. So head on over there and check it out. But as Mark said, on July 31st, the Schmoedown Collision, it is happening. The Schmoedown Collision for July 31st. What an event it is. First match of the night. First match of the night will be for the Star Wars Championship in digital form, and that will be Laura Lights Out Kelly, the challenger, going up against the champion, Andrew the Hunter Dimolanta. And then our first in-studio match. These two gentlemen will be the first in-studio match that we have had in a long, long time, and it is a #1 contender match in the Inner Geekdom division, and that is Saul versus the rookie
Aren't both of
sensation,
these guys on
the
the
silent
East Coast,
assassin,
though?
Amaru Moses. And that
Just
will
curious.
happen in the second match in studio. The third match of the night. You talk about singles. You talk about the #1 contender match, another one. The winner of Erwin and Merle will face the winner of Kevin Goodenough Smith versus Lady Justice Marisol McKee. And finally, the main event of the night in studio. You can already see the entrances as Shazam, the champions, will be trying to defend that championship against the team they took the title from the first time around. Corruption, Mike Kalinowski and Chance Ellison, looking to become the first team ever in Schmoedown history to win the title an unprecedented 3 times. So what an event it is.
Mike just won the
It's going to be a huge event, Christian. I know you're looking forward to it just as well as I am. And if you saw the match earlier today, don't worry. For all those 4 collision matches, the sound's going to be on the whole time. We tried to mute Gucci, and we just got a little too happy with the mute button. And so that is going to do it. But I do believe we have some updated faction standings we can show all the kids as well, Christian, because look, the Dungeon looking to take a big, massive, even lead over the rest of the field. Not quite able to pull off the W in sudden death today, but you look at the usual suspects. And again, as our buddy Tim Sim noted pre-show, they had a week for the ages, and they're getting right back in there.
Just like I said,
yes, if you look at those standings right now, the suspects, just look at those 2 matches that I just mentioned. If Ethan can get it done against Dan Murrell, that's 27 points. If Amaru Moses can get it done against Saul, that is 4 more points there. So they would see themselves with a big jump. They can get themselves to 31 points, which would be massive for them if they can do it, because they were in trouble for a bit, but they're climbing out of there. Corruption has been climbing out of Corruption, and the Exchange right now are going to send some kind of flower basket to the usual suspects, because they stopped a massive power surge that would have been so many points. It would have been close to 60 points because of the Dan Murrell and Bateman match that would have happened. So that stopped that. The Finstock Exchange now has an opportunity. The Quirky Mercs at Collision have a lot to gain if they can have Kevin Smith, Andrew DiMolanta, and Shazam win. So this race is wide open now, and the factions really have the suspects to thank for that tonight. And Ethan Erwin, because it is an open race now.
The Mercs can be number 1.
As the legend Sam Huff said during the call of Super Bowl 22, first out of the gate doesn't always win the race. The Dungeon off to a hot start in this season, but it's still anyone's ball game as the summer months heat up. Whole lot of fun here at the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. And as we possibly say goodbye to our YouTube audience for now, before we welcome in our patrons, Christian and I both want to extend our thanks to all of you watching and supporting this great community that has become somewhat of a family. And that extends to all of our behind-the-scenes pals at Skybound, making this production move smoothly. All of our great writers, of course, Jen Sturgery, competitors, managers, and, okay, fine, you too, Christian. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and stick around, patrons. You're going to get to ask some questions to Ethan Erwin and Sam Levine, but to everybody else, thank you so much. Make sure you sign up to the patreon.com/Schmoedown. A reminder to all people on the YouTube channel, the Schmoedown, it is going to be the Schmoedown Hub, the main channel, SEN Live, Sith Council, IG. As of Monday, they are all moving to the brand new channel. So make sure you subscribe there, because for the time being, the big thing will be on the main channel, but this will be a Schmoedown hub. FCL will live here, backstage, rundown, all of the Schmoedown matches will live here as we start to get in studio, as we start to get live. There's a lot of big changes coming into the Schmoedown, massive changes coming overall. So buckle up. Second half of season 8 is coming, and we thank you and appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So now we are going to get to Mr. Ethan Erwin, Mr. Sam Levine. Congratulations once again, gentlemen. Hell of a match. Sam, I never get upset with you about how passionate you get, and I think that your love does come from the baseball and everything else that you do, and from the game itself. So, of course, I think you played it like we knew that you would. That's why I also didn't answer your text. All right, so here we go.
Enough. Also, am I the first person in the history of the Schmoedown to use the words "playing under protest"?
I'm sure. Mark Andreko's been in the league too long.
That's true.
Yeah. I believe so. But Sam, I did do you the courtesy of not checking what's underneath your hat during each inning. So, you know.
Yeah, but you do ask to see my belt every time, Ellis.
That's a completely different Schmoedown related request.
Right. This is all meaningless to me.
All right, so we do have the
okay.
We have the $10 patrons ready to ask some questions. And
get excited about it. These are $10 patrons.
Yes, we are. So
okay, so and of course, Team Sim is the first to jump. Okay, my headphones really starting to lose battery, so I'm just gonna put them out of their misery for now and put them on the back. Anyways, I only answered 7 questions right in that one, so which usually ends up being my regular number of questions answered correctly in singles, but it's irrelevant. If Ben Bateman would have won this, I swear this probably would have... Sorry. This probably would have been my least favorite match of the year. This would have been my contender for worst match of the year, if that's even a possibility. Because, you know, I don't like these constant challenges and, you know, the stupid shenanigans by Ben Bateman. I'll repeat the question, even though I know this. I'm going to milk the clock till the very last second. And you know what? I'm happy that he's not going to play Dan. So we won't. So the less matches he gets this year, the less we're going to see of this nonsense. Anyways, congratulations to Ethan from The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects had probably the best week they have had since the first week of the season, when they had, like, what, again, 3 wins in a row. They started the year really strong, kind of went down to the bottom a bit, and then they just jumped back up, especially with this past week. So yeah, congratulations to the Suspects and Ethan Erwin. It's going to play a hell of a beast in Dan Murrell whenever that happens. But yeah, that's really all I can say regarding this match. I hope you've enjoyed my rantings on the matter, and I'll see you guys some other time. No doubt! Hello again, everybody! I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.